Hello, everyone. As we are waiting for the other to join, maybe we could start with a roundtable. If you want to open your mic or just put in the chat who you are and what you do very quickly, it would be very nice to know who we're talking to.
You can write your organization and who you are if you want in the questions and answers section, if it's okay for everyone. Okay, we have Joy Lewis from AJJ Translation, Bernardo Wiques from QPS from Barbados. Greetings to everyone. Karen Suka, Caribbean Industrial Research Institute, Trinidad and Tobago. Then we have Ignacio Locita, CEO and co-founder of Digital Motus, an IT company based in Argentina. They are a software and cloud factory, and here we have the website as well. Then we have Denise Augustin from the X Alliance. We have the website here as well, and they are from the Caribbean-wide organization headquartered in Barbados. We also have Marcelo Franceschini, I pronounce it well now, from Exo Mindset, and they are based in Argentina, based in data, AI, and digital product software company. This is
Thank you so
everything.
much. Thank you all so much for being present today. Maybe we can start. So hello, everyone. My name is Nathan Rousseau. I work here at Expertise France as an Open Innovation Manager. I work on a project called the EU-LAC Digital Accelerator, where we're trying to build bridges to accelerate digital transformation in three main regions, which are Europe, Latin America, and the Caribbean. And today we're going to talk about all the opportunities in health that we have here in France, but there are many others that we have throughout Europe that we are going to talk about today. All right. And Clément is going to give you a bit more. Wait. Okay. No, sorry. Just to give you the agenda. So first, we're going to give you a short introduction of who we are and what we do. Then we'll present the context and the actors. So who is running this project and what we do. Then we will go into a bit more details about the challenges that we have that you have been teased. And we will also present the other challenges that we have on our platform that might be of interest to you. We will talk generally about all the opportunities that are for startups and corporates in this program. And then we'll have a short Q&A moment at the end of the session. So feel free to ask your questions in the Q&A part of the Zoom meeting. I will let my colleague Clément present himself.
Yes, thank you, Nathan. I'm Clément Lafargue, also working at Expertise France for the same program. I'll be covering some of the challenges and explaining you the program as well. And insisting on what Nathan just said, you have this Q&A button at the bottom of the page where you put your names at the first place. Feel free to ask as many questions as you want all along the webinar. We try to cover everything by about 30-40 minutes max, so that we have a time at the end to answer all your questions, go more in details, and so on. Okay, so we keep your question for the end, and we cover everything. But while you write your question, we can also adapt what we are discussing at the moment. Okay. I think we're going to start by who we are and what is this program. And basically, I'm not sure. I've seen that most of the and it's great to have this audience. Most of the startups we have today are from South America and also Caribbean, which is the region we want to insist on and have a big action on. The company we work into is called Agence Française de Développement. It's basically the French public agency for development of foreign countries, and our action is basically following the sustainable development goals across the world, and we do execute programs for the European Union in order to connect Europe with other continents, develop other continents economically, but also socially in a sustainable manner. And that's the goal of the action of this program, EU-LAC Digital Accelerator. As you see here, it's just a chain of who decides what, but it's just to give you a bright info that it's basically a public program that is run by both Ministry of Foreign Affairs in France, the Agence Française pour le Développement Group, and us, Expertise France, in order to realize these European programs to sustain the economic development in the Caribbean mostly, and in the Latin America in general. And as Nathan said at the very beginning, the specificity of this program is to build bridges between two regions that don't necessarily work together because they are far away. So usually European corporate don't work with Latin American startup at the first place. They would go to US, they would go to Asia, and they would remain in Europe also a lot. And on Latin American side, you are tempted as well to work across the continent, or also with the United States or Mexico and so on. So here we're trying to go broader and to bridge those links that don't happen naturally. And that's why European Union is putting money on the table to create these long-term relationships and make sure that tomorrow Europe and Latin America and Caribbean, let's not forget them at all, stay connected business-wise, but also in terms of technology and innovation, which is the core topic of the program. Let's deep dive in the program itself. So that was a political statement, let's say. What we do operationally and why it's interesting to speak to you directly. We consider yourself as beneficiaries of our program, right? So European Union is putting money on the table so that beneficiaries like you can be part of this type of program. And what you see here is what we offer in terms of services operationally. So it's a two-block actions. On the first side, we try to match corporate and startups together, making them work on open innovation topics, digital ones. So we try to make the demand match the offer, right? And once you've found each other and start building this, not client-supplier relationship, but more innovator, problem holder relationship, we support your partnership during 6 months so that you run a proof of concept, a pilot project together. And the difficulty usually when you make big corporates work with small startups, and especially when they are not from the same geographical region, is that the chances of success are quite low. The risks of failure are high, the same thing, right? But also the risk of delays and over costs, right? So what we try to do is to first build the right partnerships that are made for each other. It should be a good fit, and after that we stay with you during 6 months as an accelerator to make sure your partnership is a success. And in 2 words, very operationally, what we're gonna see now is challenges from corporates, right? And that's what you see on the left side. The people like Nathan and I, we would go to corporate innovation teams, we would speak to them, we will ask them, okay, what's your innovation roadmap for the year? What are the topics you cannot solve internally? Where do you need help from the exterior and from the market and from startups that are more specialized than your own teams into one specific problematic? And once we have identified these open call, let's say that we're going to go call challenge throughout the whole discussion here, we start scouting, sourcing, looking for startups that can answer those needs. And that's what we are doing today. We're going to present you some problems expressed by corporates, open call, to which you can answer to and to which you can apply to solve that. And the goal is to help you guys as startups find clients at corporates, right? By solving the technological issue and opening business opportunities for you with large account like the corporate we're going to present you today, okay? I don't enter into the detail of the acceleration services that we provide because we go through it right after. But I leave the floor to Nathan for the challenges themselves, okay?
So as of today, we have 5 challenges in the health industry here in France, but there are others that you can see on the platform. We will showcase the platform and how it's used right after. Feel free to log into the platform or subscribe if you want to check out the other challenges. There are many of them, and some of them you may answer to some of them with your technology, not necessarily in the health tech industry. We also have construction, food industry. We have many things. But let's dive into this first challenge that was provided by a health tech company. Unfortunately, here we are not able to disclose their name, but this challenge is about connected exoskeletons that are created to assist healthcare staff. The goal is to identify an ergonomic skeleton and autonomous robots that are able to reduce physical strain on healthcare workers. So, for example, when they are handling patients or when they're doing repetitive tasks. The idea here is to have an assistive robotic that's helping for injury prevention, logistic automation, and modular development across hospital settings. You can find this challenge on the platform. From the same company, Actually, it was right there. Okay. All right. Sorry. We also have this challenge from the same company that's called Anticipating Health Deterioration Through Noise Analysis. So the idea behind this challenge is to develop an AI-powered acoustic system that's able to detect and predict patient health issues. So, for example, if they were to fall or if they were to have a distress or abnormal breathing, so using smart sensors and sound analysis in real time, we'd be able to assist patients more quickly. So the idea is to focus on real-time monitoring by using behavioral modeling and predictive alerts using ambient noise filtering and AI. And then last but not least, we have this challenge from the same company as well that's about global and connected vital signs monitoring systems. The idea here is to create an integrated AI system for continuous and non-invasive monitoring of vital sign. There's a focus here on blood pressure and temperature, which are pretty easily monitored. The idea is to secure real-time data collection, to have predictive analytics and EHR integration to optimize patient care and also staff efficiency with this company. And then we have 2 other challenges that my colleague Clément is going to present from Groupe SOS, and then we'll show you a bit more about who Groupe SOS is.
Yes, thank you, Nathan. And just to give a bit of context on the and before running into the Groupe SOS as well, if you can go back on the previous slide, whichever this one is. So here you have 3 challenges for one company, right? So the name of the company is not disclosed as they want to remain anonymous here, because the way the challenge is published is publicly published. But you would know the name of the company. But to give example and to give a bit of context, it's still a big clinic and medical facilities, I would say, a group that has hospitals and clinics a bit all around France and Europe. So it's a big group. They have lots of innovation challenges when it comes to help their patient better. And so that's why they are, with all the AI revolution, they're looking for new types of services to provide to their patient to make their clinics more attractive, but also more efficient and better service for the patients, so that they are better healed in a way. So that's the whole goal. And let's switch to the other one, which is Groupe SOS.
Just one side note, they also have an entity in South America, and they're willing to develop in this region of the world. So if you're interested, it's really growing.
Yeah, good point. And this one here, you see the name, it's Groupe SOS. So it's not directly health, let's say it's social services. Maybe, Nathan, if you can switch to their website, you would get an immediate view of what they do. But basically, it's also a huge group. It's 22,000 co-workers, right? So they are doing action in social care, I would say, and health included. So they do have houses for young people that are out of school. They do have actions for also care and health solution for the women, and they are present all across the globe. And they are basically regrouping several NGOs and sub-associations working in the social field, let's say. So it's a bit wide. I cannot go in everything, but basically, so they are a very fragmented group, as they are everywhere and very numerous, and they are more from the associative world. So they are not the most digitalized group so far. They are still in a process of digitalization. And that's why they are going through us, EU-LAC Digital Accelerator, because they are very willing to get more digital with us. And also they are very in line with our values at Expertise France of sustainable development goals. And so I'm quite happy to present you these challenges, because as they call themselves entrepreneurs for good, I don't know what was written, but it's a good structure. So I'm going to present you these 2 challenges plus 2 others that are not published yet, but they are going to be. Basically, this one, as they have 22,000 people internally, they and several job title, I would say, or expertise, they have this huge database and knowledge base on how to work, best practices, webinars, anything you might need that looks like an intranet to help your coworkers have access to the right and less updated information to make their work more efficient and better. And so far, the shape it takes is only a SharePoint space, right? So the coworkers, they can go on this SharePoint and they can open documents like Word and Excel and PowerPoints. But at the end of the day, not so many people is going on this space and consulting the documents that are getting outdated, that are getting lost, and so on and so forth. I think you all know this resource management problematics that is in every company. So you can imagine what it gives in a group that is not very digitalized yet, present in more than 20 countries, and coming from the associative world. And but the good thing about them is that they have this very dynamic innovation team that we met, and they really want to make things move, and they have designed this challenge for us and for you, which is, okay, we really have the ambition to make something much more digital, attractive, and interesting, and also useful for the coworkers. And they really want to reshape totally the way this database is done. So they are looking for somebody that is used to manage corporate knowledge databases, I would say, and how to spread it out. So it's both recreating not sort of intranet, but they call it the Netflix of the internal content. So they're eager to go towards very innovative formats, or very innovative, let's say attractive. It can be videos, can be also managed by algorithms that push the right content to the right person, because sometimes it's not just the content that is not good, it's just the way it arrives to you that doesn't work. So as always, here what they really look for is somebody to make the audit of what they have today, understanding how they work, and proposing something more attractive and efficient to push the right format to the right people. Okay, basically that's it. Second sub point about that, including this team that is sharing all the content is also organizing internal, you can call them the internal communication team, right? So they also do organize events where they speak about different topics regarding their domain of expertise. But at the end of the day, it's always 60 people being connected or showing up in a group of 22K. So it doesn't work. But it doesn't work because the content is bad. It doesn't work because the invitation management is not good. So people don't receive the invitation, or they don't receive the invitation to the right ones. They receive all of them, so they cannot sort it out. So here again, it's part of the knowledge base. It's also taking care of when there are events that are created by the internal communication team, how is it distributed to the right people, and make sure there is a higher engagement. Okay. So that's one. I make a little break. Don't hesitate to put questions in the Q&A again. We can take them at the end of the call in 10 minutes or 15. Yeah. And the second one is also linked to their internal digital transformation, let's say. As it's a vast group and they have a big ecosystem, they would love to have an internal CRM with all these clients, suppliers, and so on, all located in one place to manage them much better. It doesn't work well, although they have about this Salesforce CRM, which is, the worldwide leader. But having the tool isn't enough. You need people to actually use it and fill it in with the right data. So here what they look for is not so much for a software provider, because they have the software, but more for integrator or change management supplier. And I would say service provider, IT service provider. So IT engineers that are able to understand the data structure of the company and to create the links, the automations, the architecture at the end of the day, to make all the data from this ecosystem to end up in the database of the CRM in a simple manner for the users, right? So it's also a bit linked with what we said earlier, but this one, we isolated it because it's really, okay, more engagement of the coworkers towards the usage of a tool by simplifying all the flows that they have built today. So here they need more somebody that analyze what is done, what could be better, and propose a solution and work with them on that. So it's more consulting work, I would say. And it's not written here, but two more challenges are gonna be published. They are still writing them, but just for information, they have another one that is around, they have those houses for teenagers that are without parents and are being taken care of by professors, social workers, and so on and so forth. And so it's always a team of 15 professionals for 10 kids, and then you have these challenges, agendas, who is here, when, and so on. And so far, they manage it through Excel sheets that don't work well. So tomorrow they would like to have just AI smart agenda that is a bit more than a SIHR software that just say, okay, it's your shift today, it's not shift today. If this one is absent, it can be this one. So it's just to help to structure the agenda of who's here and where and when. And lastly, so because they have many activities, the last one is, it's a bit tricky because it's all the same thing, but themselves, they are an incubator as well of startup. So they do sustain and support entrepreneurship across the world. And so they have this program where startup can apply and say, hi, I would like to get incubated. How does it work now? And as you imagine, the startup all have the same question at the beginning of the day, at the end of the day, sorry. And it wastes a lot of time of their teams that are answering and saying no, or repeating the same information. So they would like to develop something you've already seen, like automated FAQ. So usually it's basic bot with answering the frequently asked question or redirecting towards the right information. But they would like, at the minimum, to have that, or even better, to have an AI companion with a language that provides them with the right answer the startup expects in a more natural language way. So this is also feasible. And so the last two I just spoke about, they're not published yet, but they will be. And I ended here, but just to tell you, how do I get the information of when these challenges are published? So I highly recommend what Nathan is just going to show you, is to subscribe on the platform, because that's where you find all the information. So you will get the current challenges, and you will get notification each time a new one is published. And that's where you can also apply to them and be selected to work with these big clients, big names. Okay. I stop here, not to be too long. Again, don't hesitate on the Q&A, and Nathan is gonna show the rest. Okay.
So thank you, Clément. Just as Clément said, currently on the platform, we have about 80 challenges, I believe 81 to be precise. So what's in for startup and SMEs is that we have envelopes of 40,000 euros in part of services. They're divided depending on what you need, but we can also have an envelope of 10,000 euros that can be used to finance practically the proof of concept. But what we typically do is to help you in services depending on what you need for the collaboration with the corporate. It can take many forms. It can be to help with the pitch deck or to meet new investors. It can take the form that you would require to develop. I'm going to show you how the platform is, how to use it. Feel free to log in directly as we are speaking, so that therefore, if you have questions or if something is not working, you can ask questions directly and we can help you or direct you to someone that might be of help. So as you can see my screen now, here is the platform. I'm already logged in, but typically it's here, and then you go and just log in and create an account. So we have 83 challenges at the moment. Here you can find the regions where the challenges are located. So if you are located in the Caribbean, I would recommend to filter only Europe and Latin America. And if you're in Latin America, I would recommend to filter only Europe and the Caribbean. And then here you can see all the specific areas that we have our challenges in. So it's, as I said earlier, if you have a technology, you don't have to be secluded to only health. It can maybe work in construction or climate change, logistics. So feel free to, scout the platform and just wander and find things that might be interesting. You can also filter them through technology. So if that might be like much faster for you to find challenges that you might be able to answer to. And yeah, that's pretty much how it works. And for example, in the health industry at the moment, we have 20 challenges that mention health. And if you only go in health tech, we have 7 challenges. So here are the challenges that I presented. You can click here. You have much more details about how the challenges is going to be ran, what they're very specifically looking for. Obviously, we couldn't go into too much details about the challenges because otherwise it would be a little boring. And then you can also access the person that you might be able to contact. Usually you have the contact of the corporate. In this case, since it's anonymous, you only have my contact. So also feel free to contact me. You will have my information at the end of this presentation, and they will also be in the chat. Do I present this one or should I go?
I think what can be said more if you enter into one of the challenge, for instance. You see on the top right, you have the send message and request meeting buttons, but this is us. If you, as a startup, when you register and log in, you would have a button that says apply to this challenge. So the goal of the platform is really to be the place where you link, where you connect. And so if you send message, request meeting, or propose your application, then you are being considered by our team of Nathan, me, and 30 other people working on that, which would filter down your application and then introduce it to the corporate for them to pick you out. So that I would say there is you can go on the platform just to look for the opportunity, but if you really want to activate something and get result and win new market and win new commercial opportunities, you need to act on it. So it's really when you apply, when you send message, when you request meeting, that we answer to you and we say, okay, I take into account that I have met this startup. So are they good for this challenge? If yes, I present them to the corporate. And if that doesn't work for this one, I can also, as an advisor, tell you, okay, it didn't work out for this challenge, but it makes me think of this one. So the more you interact in the platform, the more chances you have, to get known by the ecosystem and to get selected for one of these challenge solving, I would say.
And as an extra advice, you can also contact us directly. Feel free to book a meeting with us and just to present your technology. It's always nice for us to know what all of you are doing, because when we go to corporates to help them find their needs, when we have more tools in our toolbox, it's always nice to be, oh yeah, we know this startup from the Caribbean, they're able to do this and that, or from Argentina, and then we're stronger with the corporates and we have direct matches. And also, that's one thing that we forgot to mention, but if you're a startup that's already working with a corporate that's in a different region than you can also apply for the fund, and then we can accelerate the collaboration between you and the corporate, and we will finance all the POC that you're doing with this corporate. It recently happened. We have a startup from France that is going to start collaborating with a company in Mexico that's in the water treatment, and we're very pleased about that. And the startup came to us with already this collaboration prepared. So if you are thinking about something that's already in your pipeline, well, feel free to contact us as well.
Mm-hmm. And if you can go on companies as well, on the top of the page. Yeah, it's just a mini parenthesis to say, you see on the platform, so it exists since 2023, and you have 1,021 organizations, so it's mostly startups like you guys, and about 20% of corporates. And so this database is growing and growing, and the more the ecosystem is qualitative and dynamic, the more opportunities you can find. And as Nathan say, it's more or less always 80 challenges are open. So this number changes according to when one of them gets resolved, but new ones are being uploaded regularly. So the goal also is to make of this platform a business opportunity place in the future, meaning permanently. So it's the beginning. It's been 2 years, but it's built
To last.
to last. Thank you. Okay.
All right, back on our track.
Yeah, so basically you've understood, but I sum this up. For startups like you, it's the opportunity to work in an open innovation mode with corporates, and so to start collaborating with big groups that at the beginning are just technological partners, but after this first talk, and if this technological challenge is solved, you have the opportunity to expand with them and to expand your technology across the whole group or even across their clients. So it's basically, and to start with, a good business opportunity for startups that are looking for clients at the early stages. And also, as the program is international, it's also a way for you to find your first international clients and put a step in Europe, which is a big market where lots of things has to be done. I don't go on the visibility because it's pretty obvious, but on the second row, like develop a roadmap, receive acceleration service, access to financial investment and resources. This is what you get as acceleration services. I think the next slide is about the detail of that.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's not very big, but when we say 40K of acceleration services, what does it mean? It means that once you have found your partner and you build this partnership and you have this project, technological project to work on together, it's usually developers' time that will work from the startup for the corporate into solving their issue. And what we propose is mandates of consultant experts in corporate venturing that will make sure the POC is running smooth. So we do intervention in 3 main categories that are written here. Proof of concept is anything linked to product management, I would say. So any help on how the IT project is designed, is the roadmap relevant? Is the sandbox open? Are the data sets compatible? Is the quality tests analysis planned? And so on and so forth. So it's support on the IT side. The second help possible is business cases. So either for you or the corporate or both together. Let's say you are working for the first time on a new market in Argentina, let's say as a corporate was coming from France, they might want to study the Argentinian market, see what the competition's like, how they're going to manage their go-to-market strategy, and so on and so forth. So it's more consulting services on business intelligence and business strategy. And on the investment and scaling, I would say that's what interests the startup the most. Is okay, we have been working for 6 months together. Now my MVP is better because I have developed a better product. I have a big client. Do I want and do I need to make new investment rounds? Do I need to be presented to new investors? And that's what we propose you. Like there are, like Nathan mentioned, you can redo your pitch deck, but you can also be presented to new sources of fundings, and that can be interesting. And last point, what we mean by scaling is you also need to think after these 6 months. And so we make sure that during these 6 months, the future is thought through. What do I do after? Do I scale across this company? Do I scale across the market I've started to get into, and so on? So all these topics can be deep dived. And when we say road mapping at the very left, it means these are optional choices. It's like a la carte. So you choose the type of services you need to according to your specific project. And if you just need more support in investment and scaling, then you can put your 40K euro on that. If you need to have a bit of it, spread it out. But I think it's just important to mention, okay, we have the matching, and this doesn't have a cost, but it would be about 30K, and it's free for you. And we provide consultant for about 40K to make sure your collaboration works well. And what is not said here is that the POC, of course, it has a cost for your teams to work on it, but it's supported by the corporate that is okay and validated the fact that they are gonna pay your bills, but also give you later opportunity after these first 6 months, and you need to contractualize with them on what these opportunities are. Okay. I think that's it on the, yeah. You want to take over from there?
So this is a very brief example of the big companies that we've been working with in Europe. So we have Vinci, the construction group. We have AstraZeneca in the health and pharma industry. We also have Volvo in the car industry. We have Desigual in textile, DHL in logistics. So we have a very different panel of companies. So I'm pretty sure that if you go on the platform, you will find something that you might be able to answer to. And about the Latin American and Caribbean market, you probably know more companies than I do, but we have MK Cosmetics. And then the other one I know is Grupo La Mozza. And we have the innovation hub of the mines in Peru. And the floor is yours if you have any questions. I see that we have 9 questions in the chat.
Yes, thanks. There are other things we could say. Let's start with your question. And I think that Julia was okay to
Yes, I'm
read
here.
them out loud, and we'll take them.
Yeah.
Definitely. So we have one question here from Dennis Agustin that is asking for the group SOS engagement. How important is it to have frontline team members who speak French?
I'm going to take this one. For the challenges that are published and the one we presented, the two, so it's directly in link with innovation team from the group, from the headquarters. And it's not important to speak French, but it's important to speak English. As that's what I can tell you. Or I don't think they are super fluent in Spanish, but English is a good business language.
Yeah.
Perfect, Lemon. Thank you. Then we have another question on the chat from Camilo Daza that basically he is writing that have been registered into the platform and he applied for some challenges, but he didn't obtain any follow-up. And the question is if the funding services include the certification or making of solutions. Because moving forward with other corporations, maybe they want to implement the healthcare solution, but they ask for the European certification. Do these challenges that you were mentioning require this certification?
It's hard to tell which certification you're talking about. Is it the AI Act? So the one of...
to write it?
Yeah, maybe. Don't hesitate to... Okay. The CE for...
The CE, yeah.
Okay. Honestly, hard to say directly from here, but happy to answer your question and have you in direct chat to deep dive this topic. It happens that the norms of Europe are required for these challenges, especially in the health tech sector when it manipulates patients' data that are very linked to the state and some legal constraint that happened. But for the Groupe SOS, I would say nothing of this kind. And for the other one, nothing specific on this as well. So it seems relatively open, but I'm going to be deep dive. Yeah.
And regarding the partners that don't respond, do they not respond on the platform? Have you tried reaching them directly to their LinkedIn or emails? Otherwise, maybe you can send us an email and then we will forward it to them. if you explain the context of who you're trying to reach, why, and then we can maybe spread the word.
But the logic is, it can be frustrating for startups not to get answers, but as you have 70% of startup on the platform and 20% of corporates and 80 challenges for 2,000 people, let's say, they typically receive much more application than they did. And that's why we are here to intermediate the relationship, sort out this application, and so on. So there might be two reasons why you are not getting answered. Either the challenge is already being provided with so many solvers that they stop accepting or considering entering a request, or application, and so you don't even get an answer, and that's frustrating. But that's probably the reason. And normally, we have a policy that the challenges that are solved, they disappear from the platform. So you shouldn't have challenges here that are solved and still present. So I would imagine that if you don't get answered, they just probably already have too much application and they're going to close the challenge. Then it can still happen that people are not reactive on the other side. That happens. So I highly recommend you have two contact data. Maybe you can show Nathan on the platform. You have two contact data on one challenge. You have the person from the corporate, and you have the person from EU-LAC. So let's say the Chief Innovation Officer of Groupe SOS and myself. And it's really our job and the job of our team to answer to you, at least to say yes, no, no. So here you have Beatrice, for instance. She's the one from our on our team. I don't know if you click on her if you have her contact data. Okay, and so don't hesitate to talk to them. And on the challenges that we presented, it's directly us, Nathan, myself, Judith.
Yes.
And you have our contact data. So contact us through the platform. If no answer, which should not happen, but still will, email us. You have our phones normally. And even if these are challenges that are not managed by us directly, when I say us, I say Nathan or myself, like the one of Beatrice we just showed you. You can always contact us and say, hey, I've tried to apply for this one. I didn't get an answer, and we can liaise with our colleagues and say, hey, have you seen this one? They're expecting something. It will never be perfect, but at least we can try to make sure that they are reactive.
Thank you all so much for being present today, for all the questions and the introductions. Please, I don't think there are other questions.
No questions. No.
Okay. Feel free to help us by providing feedback on how this webinar went, and about anything that you might want to add. And after I will give you my informations. You will have the link of in this. Wait.
Yeah, if you can copy it in the chat.
Yeah, you will have the link in the chat. No, or you can scan the QR code.
Yes. And
yes,
yes, go ahead.
no worries. That they will receive as well a questionnaire after the webinar. So no worries.
Okay.
Sorry, but we have another question,
Yes.
Nathan and Clement. This is from David Vega, and he's saying, hello team, we are a startup from Colombia. We offer a cybersecurity platform. Do we have the opportunity to participate? I guess so, but...
Yeah, we didn't cover this one. The eligibility criteria. Basically, any startup that is capable of technically to answer a challenge is eligible. So that's why there is no filters for you to be here. The only rule, let's say, is that you need to have startup from Colombia working with corporate from Europe or corporate from the Caribbean. But aside from that, you're all welcome to participate. And then it's just, okay, do you have the capacity put teams on such a project. You have the time, the teams, the willingness, and the technology to resolve these challenges. But of course, you're welcome, David. Go for it, and I suggest you go on the platform, look for cybersecurity topics. You would see which challenges are linked to this, and you will find good leads for which corporate are interested into the solution you're selling. Definitely. And I see Denise also saying that you provide solution that you are incubating at DX Alliance. Yes, we'll organize a meeting with you in order to understand your solution. But also before that, in order to prepare this kind of meeting, just look at, do you have challenges that you have pre-spotted that we can talk about? And we can tell you, okay, we have this discussion, and we can orient it towards a real use case, right? Perfect. That's good. That's good.
Thanks, David.
Technology readiness also level might be a good question. Basically, as long as you have an MVP and maybe first beta clients, I would say, that's good. And you would find different challenges. Some are very early stage. They say we would accept any startup because the solution doesn't exist on the market, and we are really in a research mode, and we are ready to work with smart people to develop something new with very low technology readiness level, while others, like the one of Groupe SOS, to help install Salesforce, basically it's more people who already have done it with other clients who are experienced and who just have a technology on the shelf ready to be, how do you say,
activated? Activated?
Activated or reused or something ready. It depends. You will find all of them, all the cases. Yes, Joy Lewis, it's funny you say that. It can be a good way also, as you are a translation agency. I would say it's more, it's less the center of the thing, but sometimes you have partnerships that are not only two companies, but three. Because you have the corporate and one startup that helps solving one part of the challenge, and the other one solving the second part of the challenge. So this is possible to have tripartite. I don't know if you can say that in English.
Mm-hmm.
People, and for instance, it's not on the one of Groupe SOS, but we had this question of, okay, we want a software that will be used by users from different nationalities. And so we need to manage the results and the front office in different languages. And so if the first provider is not providing all the languages and you associate with us to take care of the missing language, that can be something to be done as well. Yeah. Particularly, Joy, I would say on challenges of, who was that? Of Nexity, if you look at the one on construction, because it's very linked to French laws, French users. So on the platform, if you go to see Nexity, there are definitely things where they need French language. Okay.
Well, thank you all so much for your time today and for all the questions and participation. We're looking forward to collaborating with all of you, hopefully.
Yes, and don't hesitate to leave the comment on how it was. It's useful for us to improve this type of webinars and see if we were relevant or if it was less interesting. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a great evening.